Elias never thought of himself as a monster. He told himself he was a businessman. But the dead had a different word for him. Elias worked at night, not for thrills, not for ritual, for profit. He had a shovel. The handle was worn smooth because he held it a lot. He had lockpicks, gloves, a flashlight, and a van with tarps in the back. He kept a map of cemeteries within 50 miles and a list of names he copied from headstones. He didn't steal jewelry. He didn't steal rings or watches. He stole bones, because bones last. Elias called it inventory. He called it product. Collectors paid for pieces they could never admit they wanted: skulls, teeth, finger bones. Elias sold them through quiet channels, burner phones, cash, late-night meetings. He never asked what happened after the sale, because if he imagined it, he might feel guilty.
Elias had rules. One rule was simple: never dig fresh. Fresh graves meant fresh grief. Fresh grief meant attention. But one night, the ground called him. Not with words, with certainty. St. Brigid's Cemetery. A new headstone. No moss, no stains. The letters looked sharp, too sharp. Elias turned to leave. Then he saw something in the dirt. Small, pale, half-buried. A tooth, clean, white, and somehow warm. He put it in his pocket and walked away.
At first, nothing happened. Then the complaints began. One buyer said a skull wouldn't stop clacking, even without a jaw. Another buyer said he woke up with dirt in his mouth. A shop owner found teeth arranged in a perfect circle every morning. He swept them up. He locked the doors. He set cameras. And the circle still appeared. And that's when Elias realized something. This wasn't haunting him alone. The bones haunted whoever possessed them. One night, Elias went down to count his inventory. Every tub was open. The lids were scattered across the floor. Skulls faced the center of the room, like they were watching something. Ribs were stacked like ladders. Femurs laid in pairs, like legs waiting to be filled. And in the middle, someone had built a shape out of bones. Not a pile, a body. Elias felt something in the room. Not movement, attention. Like the basement had turned to look at him. He locked the door and slept with a knife. At 3:11 a.m., he heard scratching from below. Slow, patient, like something waiting to be let in. Elias searched for help. He found a woman who claimed she could cleanse cursed objects. Her name was Dawn. Dawn said, "You have dirt under your nails." Elias replied, "I wash." To which Dawn said, "Not that dirt." Dawn leaned closer. Her voice dropped. Dawn proceeds to say, "You didn't just take bones, you took rest. They're attached now to whoever possesses them, like hooks.
Elias asks, "How do I stop it?" Don says, "Put them back. The proper graves, the proper names. Undo it." Elias understood. This wasn't business anymore. This was debt.
He started returning them, the ones he still had. He dug at night, hands shaking, shoulders burning. He whispered names into the earth, like apologies. And after each return, the pressure eased. Less scratching, less cold air. But the bones he sold were harder. He had to track down buyers, break in, steal them back. Some people begged him to take them. Some people fought. But all of them looked the same. They looked haunted, because the dead had found their address.
Weeks passed. Elias grew hollow. His hands cracked. His eyes sank. Because the last piece was the first thing he stole. A tooth from a fresh grave. Mara's grave. Elias whispered, "I'm sorry." He dug. The soil felt soft, almost eager. He found the coffin, pried it open just enough, and returned the tooth to the dark. The air turned still, like the cemetery was listening.
Then Elias heard it. Not from the coffin, from behind him. They stood behind him. Every grave he disturbed, every rest he stole. They were whole now because he returned what he took. No screaming, no rage, just certainty. Mara stood nearest, her eyes fixed on Elias. Elias tried to speak, but his throat wouldn't work. Elias raised her hand and pointed at him. Elias finally understood something. Putting the bones back wasn't forgiveness. It was completion. They moved together, hands on his shoulders, his arms, his chest. And Elias felt something open inside him, like a door unlatching. The spirits entered him, not violently, not angrily, like smoke filling an empty house. His fingers turned thin, his body blurred, and then he collapsed inward into nothing. They never found Elias. No body, no trace. Only a shovel left behind, and a grave returned to silence. And if you stand there long enough, on the right kind of foggy night, you might hear it, a faint clicking in the distance, the sound the dead make when they've finally gotten what's theirs. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.